Hey guys, what's up? Team 3D Alpha. Answering a quick question. I was reading my mail and I saw. Usually when I see a question, I copy and paste it to a Word document, and I answer them based on like the order I received them. But this one, I just felt like I had to answer because it seems like it's a guy who really who's really trying to get ahead in life. And as long as you're trying to become a better person today that you were yesterday, you're one of my best friends. So I'm gonna answer that question right now. He's saying, do you have any tips on how to quit smoking? Well, there's many methods out there, so I'm not saying like this is the way, but I would say this is the simplest way to get rid of an addiction. How do you get rid of an addiction? Not just smoking, just an addiction in general. Well, I always say, this is just my opinion, I always say the best way to get rid of an addiction is to replace it with another. Meaning you want to get rid of a smoking addiction, replace it with another addiction. Obviously a positive addiction. Believe it or not, you could be addicted to positive things. So that's one way of doing it. One way of doing it is to find something. For example, every time you stop and smoke, if your addiction is smoking, every time you stop and take a cigarette break, begin to do something during that break. For example, if you smoke at 10 o'clock, while you're smoking at 10 o'clock, do something else along with that addiction, right? Along with that cigarette break, and slowly, because you're smoking a lot. 'Cause the thing about quitting smoking, you don't want to quit right away. You don't want to just get up and say, I'm gonna quit smoking today. It's impossible. It's not gonna work like that. You're just gonna burn yourself out, and in fact, you're gonna end up smoking more than before. Take it one step at a time. So the first method, like I said, is replace it with another addiction. By doing that is every time you're supposed to be smoking, once you find a new addiction you're gonna replace it with, I don't care if it's listening to a specific song, I don't care if it's doing push-ups, whatever it is, do that thing while you're smoking, right? So as time progresses, it becomes like a coupled addiction. You're over smoking and doing that thing at the same time. Then slowly you want to remove the smoking little by little, but still keep that other addiction. What ends up happening is you actually trick your mind. So if you smoke every 2 hours, so in the beginning you want to do the smoking, meaning obviously you want to keep smoking, believe it or not, but you're doing it coupled with the other addiction. Let's say it's painting, right? So every time you're smoking, you're painting, smoking, painting. Next day, same thing, same thing. Then slowly you begin to, when it's time to smoke, you keep painting, but you smoke less and less and less, and slowly and surely you be surprised your new addiction will become that second thing that you added. Now, believe it or not, this works. A lot of people tried it. Well, I won't say a lot of people, like 3 or 4 of my friends tried it. I personally tried it, and this shit fucking works. Anytime you have an addiction, just try to replace it slowly with another one. The second way to get rid of, to stop smoking or break any addiction is to understand that a habit, a bad habit, is the result of something else, right? Most people smoke because they're stressed out. So you don't want to attack the cigarette. You don't want to be like, oh, cigarette, I have to stop smoking. No, you want to attack the root of the problem. It's kind of like if you have a tree. Let me do this picture here. All right, you see this board here? It's kind of like you have a plant, and the plant has leaves, right? And there goes the roots. Now you have a problem somewhere here. Let's say there's a problem, like you have parasites eating away at the roots, so I don't know, contaminating the roots. And in response to that, since the tree gets all its nutrients from the roots and from the ground, the leaves begin to fade away, right? Because there's a problem down here. Now you trying to stop smoking and isolating just a cigarette is like you trying to just say, oh man, the plant is looking bad. Let me just cut off the plants. So you cut off the plants, and slowly what happens? They regrow, and they're still contaminated. And you try it again. You try it again. You go, oh, let me cut it. It's an endless cycle. Why? Because the main problem is not the leaves. The main problem is the roots. You want to go to the roots and fix the problem. Same thing with cigarettes. The problem with people that smoke cigarettes is not the cigarette. It's usually stress or something else that makes you feel empty and makes you go to the cigarette for like a comfort. So you want to attack that problem directly. It's kind of like when you go to war. You don't want to attack. If you're going against an army of 10,000, you don't want to fight the army of 10,000. You want to go after the general. You want to go after the king. Once you kill the general, the whole army falls apart. Same principle. So don't attack cigarette, or if your addiction is, I don't know, drug or whatever else, don't attack that directly. Go after the source. What makes you smoke? Try to understand what makes you smoke. I always say the cure to everything is passion. I always repeat that. When you discover what your passion is, and you keep doing it, you stay in the atmosphere, you're always doing your passion, you're always learning more about your passion. You notice that sooner or later you find no time to smoke or to do other addictions. I used to be addicted to a lot of things. I mean, come on, guys, we're all humans. I remember when I was 15, 16, I was addicted to porn like a motherfucker, man. It kept going all the way until I was like 18, 19. And I was like, man, how do I get rid of this shit? And the more I tried to get rid of it, the more it became stronger. And I realized, no, man. found another addiction. I became addicted to basketball. And then swimming. I started doing other things. And when I was doing those things, I realized I didn't have time to go on the computer and just, strike my motion tip all night. So, for example, I would go on YouTube and watch Kobe Bryant videos. I watch Michael Jordan videos. When I was swimming, I watched Michael Phelps videos. And every now and then I go, watch some quick porn, I'm saying. So you don't quit in one day. It went from like 10 minutes to 5 minutes to 2 minutes to once a week to once a month to once every 6 months to like, So don't try to attack something directly. Find unorthodox alternative methods, right? You try the first step that I said, the replace it with a different addiction, or you can try the second step, which is find the root problem. Why do you smoke? Is it because you're empty? If it's because you're empty, then find out what fills you, a passion. If it's because something that depressed you, losing your ex or whatever, become a better person so that, literally find the source of the problem. Don't attack the problem directly. Find the source. All right, I hope that helps, Team 3D Alpha.